What's going on, everybody? I'm Primalliquid and welcome to another Borderlands 4 Legendary Guide. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the Birts Legendary SMG. And make no mistake, this thing is a freaking monster, okay? As soon as I find out where it is, there we go. So this is the Birts. This thing is incredibly good. I've actually had a few of these throughout my Borderlands 4 playthrough. I got my first one in the 20s range, like late 20s, and that actually carried me pretty much all the way to unlocking UVH4. These things are incredibly potent for mobbing. Bossies, not so much, but mobbing is crazy with this thing, okay? So the prefix is Hive Mind, and we're going to talk about that in a second. As for the other parts, it's just rockets and COV mag. Honestly, COV mag is probably the worst part possible for this gun, so do try and avoid that if you can. Jacobs, I'm pretty sure, is pretty much always on this, at least near enough. I'm pretty sure everyone I've had has actually had a Jacobs part. But what is it? Well, obviously we can change over to the rockets. We're going to ignore that. So when you shoot it, you can see these little bees coming out, right? Like the bullets are actually bees, and they have a really weird pattern. They just sort of fly here, there, and everywhere. However, the good thing about these little bees is they home in on enemies. So think about Atlas tracking darts, for example. It's kind of like that. The only difference is you don't need a tracker. So let's say that room over there, yeah, let's say that was just completely full of enemies. I could just stand out here and basically just do this into the room. And all of those little shots would home in on enemies quite easily and just absolutely demolish them all. So, where do we get it? Well, unfortunately, this thing is a giant pain in the butt because one of the most annoying enemies in the game drops it. It is from Sludgemore. Now, I'm playing as Rafa, which means the only real worthwhile build that Rafa has to kill this guy with is going to be the Ricochet Kickballer, which, hey, guess what? Also drops from Sludgemore. I don't have the parts with me right now to show that off. However, if you take a look at my Rafa UVH5 build, that is basically the build I am talking about. Instead, right now, I'm kind of just playing around with a build that Moxie recently released, which basically involves the Chaoson. Sadly, that build is not very good for this boss. Now, in order to unlock Sludgemore, you do need to do 2 side quests first. You need to do Null and Void, and that will unlock you the side quest All Charged Up. At the end of All Charged Up, you will be able to fight Sludgemore, and then once you complete it, you will be able to farm him. Now, Sludgemore is a giant pain in the butt for one reason, okay? He absolutely loves going underground, and he loves staying underground, as you can see right now. What that basically means is the Moxie Chaoson build is actually kind of terrible for Sludgemore, because as soon as he goes underground, the explosions stop, and yeah, they kind of just get wasted. One of the other ways of doing it is basically using the Wombo combo. That's not a terrible way of doing it. But obviously, you do still need your action skill. And obviously, Sludgemore is a giant pain in the butt because he absolutely loves hiding underground, which means if you debuff him with the payload knife, then yeah, you kind of out of luck, unfortunately. Luckily enough, though, the Wombo combo is pretty decent at actually taking this guy down if you can actually get him to stay above ground for more than 4 seconds, which, yeah, he doesn't really like doing, unfortunately. That's why I say if you are going to do this, just get right up to him with the Kickballer Ricochet build and basically just unload into him. He doesn't really go underground much when you are basically right on top of him, which means if you use the Kickballer strategy, you will end up killing him quite easily, but at the same time, this is a very enclosed space, which means chances are you are going to kill yourself. And as you can see, he just downed me. So now I'm just going to get right up on him. And hopefully this will be enough. No, it's not going to be enough. I'm going to die. Well, that's just the joys of Sludgemore. Anybody who has farmed this guy knows exactly how much he sucks. sucks, especially on UVH5. Again though, if you are going to farm this with Rotha, use the kickballer strategy. Now, I'm dumb, I forgot my Jacob's enhancement, so I can't actually do that, and I'm also not spec'd for Ricochet right now. Vex and Harlow are actually really good for this boss, and of course Amon can just freeze him, allowing you to insta-give him, basically. Which, yes, guys, we are going to end this video here. Definitely get out there, get a bees if you are leveling. Sludgemore is not too bad when you are slightly lower leveled, but at 50 on UVH5, with the way he keeps hiding, unless you can literally just one-shot him, he is a giant pain in the butt. As always, everybody, thank you very much for watching, and I shall catch you in the next one.